Hey, what's up you guys, it's Ruthie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to go into chapter 7 of Survive by Holly Jackson. It just got interesting for Red, I guess, so let's continue to see what happens. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off the video now. You have been warned. Chapter 7. Hello? Red called, her voice hollow, her eyes alive, sorting through shadows. Perfect. There was an absolute worst way to die, mid-squat, pissing behind a tree while Maddie's axe murderer charged at her from the front, dignified till the end. No, the worst way to die must be suffocating. No, actually, the worst way on your knees, 2 shots to the back of the head. All right, let's finish up here. There wasn't anyone in the trees. Red knew that. She did. The only people were the ones she knew of behind her in the scrubland. It was just a rat or a bat or a raccoon, or maybe a vampire. But it didn't matter because she was finished. Her legs shook as she straightened, pulling her underwear and jeans back up, fastening the button and zipper in a hurry. She lurched for her phone and held it up, the flashlight, her weapon against the night. Aha! See, no one in the trees. Told you. But even so, Red decided to run back to the others. Oliver would probably say she'd been too long already. Her ponytail flicked against the back of her neck, and she could hear her heart in her ears. Was that from running or because the axe murderer? The light swung forward and back in her hand, flashing along the road. Red stumbled over a rock she hadn't seen, swearing as her ankle buckled beneath her, trying to bring her down. Red? Red held up her phone. Arthur was just 10 feet in front of her on the road, walking toward her, his glasses reflecting the light. You okay? He called. We thought we heard you yelling. Oh yeah, I was, she said, panicking and quickly double-checking that she'd done up her fly before Arthur could see, just shouting at the axe murderer. Well, I hope he's having a good evening, Arthur said as they finally met on the road. Turning on his heels to walk back together, he's having a great time sculling through the trees watching girls pee. Arthur snorted. He pushed his glasses up his nose, a sudden awkwardness in the movement of his arms. I was going to cover my eyes and call out before I got close, by the way, he said. Like it was important, she knew that. So I didn't. See me peeing, she asked. Exactly. I don't think we're quite there yet. And what did he mean by that? Where were they? As far as Red knew, they were just awkwardly flirting. Neither of them were very good at it. In a few months, he'd move on with his life like everyone else, probably get a nice college girlfriend he could take home for Thanksgiving. Red, crap, she hadn't been listening. Had she seen anything else? Had he said anything else? Yeah. You know, in all this time I've never asked you, he said. Why did your parents call you Red? Oh, well that's easy, she said, because my natural bright red hair color. She reached back to tug a strand of her dull blonde hair. Arthur smiled, shook his head. And the real reason, he asked? It's not red, it's Redford, she said, eyes on the RV, and their steps brought it closer. Did Red imagine it was on the RV, steadily lowering on one side? They must have changed the tire. I was named after my grandpa, Redford Foster. That's quite a name, he laughed. Isn't it? Very serious. Well, he was, Red said. He was a police captain. A pause. Like your mom? The word punched through Red's chest, a hole left behind, air bleeding out around it. She slowed to catch her breath. Yes, like her mom, Grace Kinney, captain of the Philadelphia Police Department, 3rd District. She didn't know Arthur knew about all of that. Arthur drew to a stop, catching her arm, the RV 20 feet ahead of them. You know, early on, Maddie pulled me aside and told me to never ask you about your mom, he said, or even to mention moms in general in front of you, and if that's what you want, then that's fine, but if you can't talk to your best friend about her, I was wondering maybe whether you wanted someone else to talk to about her, and I could do that sometime if you want. No, she didn't want. She could not speak of her, would not think of her. Arthur hadn't known Red in the before time. He was new. He wasn't supposed to know about her mom. Maybe that was what Red liked most about him, that he was untainted by knowing, except, did he know? Maddie had told him. Did that change everything? Was that why he was always nice to her? Why he softened his voice? She looked down. That was enough. Red refused to think about Arthur knowing, pitying her, or about Mom. Push it away, out of her head. Skip to the next thought. Gone. What are you doing when we finish senior year, she asked. A question she never asked because she hated when people asked her, and Arthur bristled the brush off, dropping his eyes. You going to college? No, actually, he said, recovering. No, for me, it's a straight to joining the family business, he grimaced. What was the family business? Kicking puppies? Which is? She asked. Flipping houses, essentially, but I'll be in the office. That's not so bad. He agreed, except it means I'll spend all day, every day, inside. Ah, the old claustrophobia, she said. He raised a finger. Exactly. Red sniffed. What did you get What, did you get locked inside a closet as a kid or something? It was a joke, but Arthur didn't smile. His eyes hardened on the road, shoulders hitched to his ears. Yeah, he said flatly. Just a prank, but my brother sometimes takes things too far. Well, shit, now it's clearly Red turn to put her foot in. Arthur's eyes were still clouded with an awkward twist in his mouth. Maybe he didn't want to talk about his brother just as much as Red didn't want to talk about her mom. She made a silent deal with him. He agreed, even if he didn't know it. There were more important things to think about tonight anyway. Now she just had to change the subject. Quick, distract both of them. Need to get yourself an outside job then, she said. Dog walker. Arthur shook the expression out of his face, recovering as he turned to her. Farmer, he continued. Nature conservatist, she said. Ooh, nice. Red had another one. Ex-murderer, she said. I hear that's taken. Red had almost forgotten what it was they were listing and why, but before she could say the next one, a sound erupted across the wide clearing, clapping, cheering, another loud whoop from siren. They must be done. Come on, Arthur said, leading Red up to the RV and along the side, and she might have been wrong, but there was a movement where it looked like it had reached for her hand. They approached the others at the front of the torn-up open wheel, lying discarded on the road. The RV lowered back down on its new tire. Simon was cradling the jack like it was an old friend, smiles on everyone's faces, and the flashlight landed on them. There you are, Maddie said to Red. I was getting worried. Thanks for all your help there, Red, Oliver added, his arm tucked through Raina's. Red was pretty sure Raina had done most of the work anyway. You're very welcome, she replied. Oh, and by the way, I checked, Oliver continued, speaking to both Red and Arthur now. This is a dead-end road. Well, it goes through some trees over there, but it's too tight. We'll never get the RV through. Okay, sorry, Arthur said, and what was he apologizing for? They had all gotten lost, and Red was the one who told them to keep going, who brought them down here. That's fine, Red said. We can turn around. Right. Let's get this show on the road. Oliver clapped again. Red, can you take the old tire and shove it into the storage compartments? Maddie grabbed the blocks and the wrench. Red picked up the tire, limp and awkward in her arms. She looked down at the tear eyes tracing along its frayed edges, completely destroyed. This way, Simon said to her, gesturing with the jack. Arthur, Raina, and Oliver headed off into the high beams glowing as they made their way back around to the door. So Maddie said, the blocks wrench gathered precariously in her arms. Arthur came looking for you, worried you were lost in the dark, and he found me, Red said. End of story. Oh, what's this? Simon asked, opening the closet storage compartment and pushing the jack inside. Girl gossip? Nothing, Red said, brushing past him to chuck the tire into. It made a loud thwack as it landed. Oh, come on, include me. He stuck out his bottom lip, tugging on Red's sleeve. There's nothing to be included in. Arthur went looking for Red, Maddie said, the blocks and wrench falling from her arms into the compartment with a loud clatter. She pushed the door shut and locked it in place with the handle. Ooh, saucy, Simon said, with a click of his tongue, an exaggerated wink. We were gone for like 3 minutes, Red said, walking toward the side of the RV, the others on her heels. That's enough, Simon said, and Maddie laughed. Will you two fuck off, was Simon's suggestion. Shut up, was Maddie's. Make out. Ew, Simon. Maddie's face crumpled in disgust. Oh, as if you wouldn't, Simon said, overtaking Red and turning around. I'm very good looking. Check out these cheekbones. Camera loves these cheekbones. That's not what camera says behind your back, Red said, pushing him on. Huh, betrayal. They rounded the other side of the RV. Well, anyway, Simon whispered to Red, I approve of the pairing. You approve of all pairings, Maddie added. Not true. Simon paused again by the door, his foot on the lower step. I think it's weird that Jess T's new boyfriend is 22 and that they've only been together 2 months and she's bringing him on spring break. And he's called Marco. Red flags everywhere. With another push, Red finally got him into the RV, stepping up behind him and shuffling in. Everyone was at the front, Raina sitting back in the driver's seat. Really? I can take over, Oliver was saying. I only had 1 beer earlier. It's fine. I got it, Raina said. Can you make the turn? Yes, I can make the turn. Right? Okay, Maddie said, pulling the door closed behind her. All in. Let's get out of here. Finally. Oliver looked back at them, a wide smile cracking his face. Well done, everyone. Overcoming adversity. Probably the most adversity Oliver Lavoie has ever encountered. It makes for a good story, at least, Maddie said. Much more exciting than everyone else's journey tomorrow. Yeah, Simon nodded, unless Marco murders them all on the plane. Raina turned the keys in the ignition and the RV roared into life. Ready to go. Simon whooped again. Arthur clapped and Maddie cheered. Wait, she said, fumbling for her phone. Let's get a victory selfie. Come on, everyone. Maddie outstretched her arm, trying to fit them all in the screen. Red is closer. Raina turned around. Red shuffled in, closer to Arthur and Simon. She'd already been smiling too, her cheeks aching. Maddie held up 2 fingers on her spare hand. Okay, everyone, say Team RV. Team RV, they called, voices out in time and out of tune. Maddie pressed the button of the V on the V, and Red could see everyone's teeth in the photo. Perfect, Maddie said, lowering her arm to study the picture. Team RV, Simon called again, turning it into a chant. Team RV, Team RV. He stopped when no one else joined in. There was such a thing as too much celebration. Raina released the parking brake and the RV rolled steadily forward. She pulled to the left, slowly coming off the road and into the surrounding dirt and grass, headlights scaring away at the shadows. But there was always more behind. Accept it. Waiting, Raina turned the steering wheel as far as it would go, bringing the RV almost parallel to the road. Okay, back up now. Back up, Oliver said. I know. Raina put the RV in reverse, and the screen in the center console lit up. A grainy black and white image from the rear view parking camera mounted at the back. Red watched the screen as the RV reversed over the road. Raina, pulling the wheel all the way to the right through the gravel and the dirt, gave way to a high patch of grass, beckoning them in the wind, or waving them goodbye. But there was something else in the image now, hidden behind the grass, something crouching, dark and still. There's a rock, Oliver said, leaning closer to the screen. Careful, there's a huge rock behind us. I can see it, Raina said coolly, backing up a couple more feet before stopping and shifting into drive. She inched forward, straightening up the wheel of the RV, staggered back onto the road, facing the way they'd come in. Let's go, she pressed down on the gas. Red thought they'd never leave. She cradled her hands, her fingernails biting into the skin of her wrist. Team RV, Simon shrieked again, more frantic this time, and Maddie gave a light round of applause for Raina and her 3-point turning skills. Maybe that was why she didn't hear the first one, but Red did. A crack, the split, the night again, and the RV sank behind her, scraping on the gravel. Another crack and hiss, and the front right of the RV buckled, tipping them off balance. What the F? Simon began, falling into Red. Another, the back left burst, the RV collapsing with it. Another, the last one. The RV grated against the road, screeching as it rolled to a stop. All 4 tires gone. That is the end of chapter 7. I will see you guys in the next video for chapter 8. Bye!